Welcome in, everyone, to the Football Addicts Anonymous podcast. Good to have Mark back. Good to get Danny back on the podcast. Chris is out and about somewhere. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not on today. So, pretty good weekend of football. I was happy with a lot of the results. Fantasy is TBD right now. We'll see how it works out, these games today and tomorrow. That's the only thing that I do like. I ranted about the movement of the games on Friday, but it does make it for a more interesting fantasy finish to the first week of the playoffs.
Certainly.
But get this started here.
Good to be back. Good to be back home for the next few weeks.
Yeah, we got a game going on right now. That we'll see our picks later, but Tulsa currently up on Old Dominion 23-10 in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, presented by Tax Act. And then we also Raiders Browns is about to kick off here too on NFL Network. But we'll start off recapping the weekend on Friday, Tailgater Cure Bowl. This was an absolutely wild game. Up and down the field. Coastal Carolina 47-41 over Northern Illinois. Coastal, their first ever bowl win in program history. Just became an FBS school in 2017. So first bowl win ever. Grayson McCall was lights out, 315, 4 touchdowns, 73% completion. And I think both teams did exactly what they wanted to. NIU ran the ball very well. Jay Ducker and Ontario Brown over 100 yards each. And Rocky Lombardi did just enough. Maybe that one fumble was the difference in the game. I don't think so. It was just Coastal scored enough points. One of my favorite players, Clint Rakovich, he scored a touchdown as well. Listed as a running back, but he's really a fullback. And the outstanding tight end, Isaiah Likely, as well, scored twice for the Chanticleers. So
for me, this is the type of game that I think you and I, at the beginning of the season, would say McCall, we were prepared for him to play like this consistently. And really, in a game that's high scoring like this, I think he's the one that tilted the Coastal Carolina to the win.
Yeah, I agree. Defensively, I think I'm going to go with Teddy Gallagher, who is at the game right now. He is at home at Coastal Carolina in Myrtle Beach. They showed him on the broadcast for the Myrtle Beach Bowl with his flowing blonde locks that he has. And he is my defensive player this game, though. 12 tackles, 4 solos, 1 tackle loss, and 2 QB hurries. Let's go. Tulsa forcing another punt. Gotta love it. All right. The Northern Illinois cover plus 12, over 63.5 hit easily. Want to say the Browns getting the ball first in the Raiders-Browns game.
Did that just kick off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking Nick Mullins. I swear, if they score the first touchdown, that's going to be annoying. Anyways, Saturday's bowl games here, roofclaim.com, Boca Raton Bowl. This one was early, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central here. I was very groggy watching this game. But I got woken up pretty quickly by the fireworks of Mr. Bailey Zappi.
Yes, sir.
59-38 over Appalachian State.
16.
422, 6 touchdowns, 70% completion. He broke the single season passing yards and passing touchdowns record Passing yards, he passed BJ Simmons. I don't know where that guy went to school. I don't think I've heard of that guy. But he passed BJ Simmons 5,967 yards. That was just the picture that I saw. I don't know if that's the final. I guess that was the final number. And then he passed Joe Burrow's 2019 60 touchdown record, and he threw for 62 touchdowns this year. Did Bailey Zappi. So that was really the game for me. I mean, it was just watching Bailey Zappi throw it all over the field to Stearns and Tinsley.
Gotta love these high scoring games to start off the bowl season.
Yeah, it was like overs galore when you're looking at betting. But Noah Whittington actually had himself a 150-yard ground day as well for the Hilltoppers. That was capped off. He had like an 84-yard touchdown that was really solid. I mean, they were opening holes all day pretty much in the ground game too, because they weren't expecting them to run, being a passing team. Do want to say Chase Bryce did an adamant job early on keeping up with Western Kentucky. 317, 4 touchdowns, but he turned the ball over twice. I think that was a big issue. Cameron Peoples turned it over as well. And yeah, I think turnovers were the difference here, and the Western Kentucky capitalized on them. Jarrett Stearns, though, like I mentioned, 13 receptions, 184 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Pretty decent bowl game, I'd say.
Yeah.
Let's go. Raiders get a stop to start the game.
You got the Raiders?
Yeah, I got Raiders -2.5 there, and I got Hunter Renfrow first touchdown. I also need Renfrow to do well. I have him in a couple different fantasy leagues that are close. So Tinsley as well, 7 for 103 and 2 touchdowns. And then defensively, I'm going to go with D'Angelo Malone, the defensive end for Western Kentucky, 6 tackles, 3 solos, a sack, tackle for loss, pass deflection, and a QB hurry. Western Kentucky covered easily, -1, over 68, again, easily.
Wow.
PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl, Fresno State 31-24 over UTEP. I was surprised, man. UTEP was up early, and I did not think that they could keep up with Jake Hayner and the Fresno State offense. Hayner really didn't have that great of a day, 286 and a touchdown on 63%. But it was the ground game. Jordan Mims was outstanding, 165 on 29 carries, 2 touchdowns, also had 71 yards off 5 receptions and a touchdown. So that was the difference. I mean, most of the other stats on here don't really seem that appealing. So Trent Thompson for UTEP, though, scoring twice, the big tight end. And defensively, I'm going with corner Torrey Richardson for UTEP, 3 tackles, all of them solos, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a pass deflection. UTEP cover +13 over 54.5 by a half. By a half a point cover or over. Gotta love it. The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, UAB,
How about UAB?
upsetting number 13 BYU, 31-28, the first ranked team to play of the bowl season, and they lose.
And you lost, yeah.
I think, though, it was in part that Jaron Hall didn't play for BYU. He was out with an injury, their starting quarterback. So Baylor Romney got the start, didn't do much with it. Dylan Hopkins, on the other hand, was outstanding. As you can see, efficient as you can be, 82.6%. 189, 3 touchdowns, did throw a pick, didn't end up mattering, obviously. And then the running backs. I mean, this was a running back game. Tyler Algier, 27 for 192 and 3 touchdowns. And then Dwayne McBride for UAB, 28 for 183 and a touchdown. Running backs galore in this game. Baylor's brother Gunnar Romney was the leading receiver for BYU, 3 for 55. Garrett Prince, the UAB tight end, scored twice. And not a lot of defensive stats, but I'm going with UAB's defensive lineman Antonio Moultrie. 9 tackles, 7 of them solos, and 4 tackles for loss. Actually, I should have went with Tyler Batty for BYU. 8 tackles, 5 solos, 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Completely just disregarded the sacks when I originally looked at it down there. Let's go though. Hunter Renfro, quick 12 yards on the first play for the Raiders. Love to see that. That's not what I like to see. I don't need Josh Jacobs running the ball though. I don't know what happened to Mark. His computer broke again.
Hi, Mark. Right.
But anyways, UAB +6 over 54 in this one. Oh, dang holding. Great offensive lineman. Lending Tree Bowl here. Liberty blowing out Eastern Michigan 56-20. First blowout of the bowl season. Malik Willis, what a game. Not that great passing, but I mean, he scored 5 times and 289 total yards. It's pretty solid last game for Malik Willis, I would say.
It's a game that he's needed because he's taken some criticism in some of his past performances this season.
Yeah, I think he got hurt. They weren't the same team for sure, and yeah, he definitely was not as great as last year, but yeah, definitely a nice ending to his season and his Liberty / entire college career, more than likely. His backup, Jonathan Bennett, came in through a 64-yard touchdown. Good for him. Eastern Michigan just couldn't get it much going on offense. They were down a lot, and they scored 10 points at the end of the game. That's why it's 20 and not 10. It should have been 10, really, because Jonathan Bennett threw a pick 6 to Jeff Hubbard down there. And that is not what I need either. Don't throw it to Foster Moreau. Come on. What are we doing? Throw it to 13. That's all. The only person that needs to touch the ball is 13. But anyways, Kevin Shaw for Liberty, 3 for 94 and a touchdown there. And defensively, here we go.
Skylar Thomas.
Yeah. 3 tackles and a 27-yard pick 6. I already mentioned Jeff Hubbard for the Eagles. 1 tackle, 1 solo, and a 34-yard pick 6. It's away D-Jacks. 11 yards, like that. First down. Liberty covered -9.5, over 58.5. Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stiefel. Utah State getting the win 24-13 over Oregon State. Logan Bonner got injured early in this game, and Cooper Lega came in and was fantastic. I mean, 55%, not that great. But he threw for 171 yards on 11 completions and 2 touchdowns. Did throw an interception, but he's a sophomore, so yeah, that's fine.
Well, Calvin Tyler just tearing it up, 120 yards.
Yeah, 4.6 per, 1 touchdown, did put the ball on the ground once. But it was interesting because the turnovers for Utah State ended up not coming back to bite them because Oregon State turned it over as well. As you can see, Chance Nolan threw a pick. Trayshawn Harrison put the ball on the ground as well. So turnovers for each side. Devin Tompkins, though, 6 for 115 and a touchdown for the Aggies. And defensively, how does it get much better than Nick Henniger, the defensive end for the Utah State Aggies? 7 tackles, 5 solos, 3 sacks, had a hat trick, and 5 tackles for loss.
Get that man a steak dinner afterwards, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue what this ESPN app is tripping right now. I don't know what is happening. It's like, yeah, I don't know. No clue. Anyways, Utah State plus 6.5. I don't know how Utah State was a 6.5 point underdog in this game. No clue. Absolutely no clue. Considering Utah State was the Mountain West champions. So under 68.5 though. All right, Derek, throw the ball to Hunter Renfrow, quarter forward. They got 2nd and goal at the Cleveland 2-yard line. I'm scared. Gotta throw it on 2nd down, please. Please throw it on 2nd down. Not to Foster Moreau either. They QB sneaked on 1st and 3. I don't know what they're doing. Arno Carrier's New Orleans Bowl, though, number 23. Oh, offensive holding. That's cool. Number 23, Louisiana, 36-21 over Marshall. Nice capper to the Sun Belt champions season, 13-1, Louisiana. Levi Lewis was great again, 270 and a touchdown, 61%, 74 yards rushing as well. Imani Bailey, Montrell Johnson, both scoring, 3 touchdowns combined there. Rasheen Ali, though, for Marshall was their only offense, 20 carries, 160, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Because Grant Wells didn't help him at all. 99 yards on 15 completions and 2 turnovers. Grant Wells has been trending down the second half of the year. It's not been a good November and December for Grant Wells. So, bro, oh my God. 2nd and goal from the 12. Renfro gets him to the 5. Dang. 3rd and goal from the 5. Throw it to 13 again. Please throw it to 13 again. Anyways, Louisiana, Michael Jefferson, 3 receptions, 108 yards, leading receiver in this game. And defensively, it's tough. I'm going to go with Marshall's defensive lineman, Owen Porter, though. 6 tackles, 3 solos, half a sack, and 4 tackles for loss. Louisiana covered minus 3.5 over 56. All right, let's get to FCS. Wow, I completely forgot to put these ones on the script. But anyways, FCS semifinals. Number 3 North Dakota State winning at home 20-14 over number 2 James Madison. I was heartbroken. I was all in for the Dukes to win the national championship this year. Cole Johnson, the 2 interceptions, the one, actually, I can't remember the one. But the other one in the end zone was kind of annoying. It was an off-balance throw. He was getting pressured, threw it up to his big receiver Antoine Wells and the defensive back made a one-handed pick in the end zone. So I don't know. I thought Cole Johnson was pretty good in this game. He gave them a chance to win, had them up 14-13 in the second half, and they had all the momentum. God, Brian Edwards scored. God, are you kidding me? No one wants Brian Edwards to score a touchdown. That helps. I want to know, like, come at me if you had Brian Edwards not as the first touchdown. But if you're starting Brian Edwards in a fantasy playoff game right now,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you're doing with your life or how you even made the playoffs. It's good for the 2.5. It's good for that, but it's not good for any of my other things that I have on this game. God, Brian Edwards? But yeah, Hunter Luepke, this was his game. 19 carries, 110 yards, 3 receptions, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The man's a fullback, and he caught the ball 3 times for 89 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Workhorse day.
It's so annoying. I hate North Dakota State. Shout out to our guy, Pat Dahl. Freaking NDSU alum. I hate you, Pat. But yeah, this was an interesting game, low scoring like we thought it would be. And the picks for NDSU, safety Dawson Weber and corner Destin Talbert. Because I didn't put this on the script, let me just check the spread and the closing spread and the over-under here. North Dakota State covered -4, under 48 hit. And they are going to the FCS National Championship in Frisco to try to win their 9th national championship in 11 years. So stupid.
Insane.
That's a dynasty right there.
Yeah.
With 3 different head coaches and 4 different quarterbacks.
100%.
All right. In between the FCS semifinals, we had the Cricket Celebration Bowl. And what a job by South Carolina State. Holy hell. We didn't think they even had a chance. Chris and I were talking about, Jackson State's going to cover the spread. It's not even going to be a game. It was 6-5 versus 11-1. But yeah.
South Carolina State is actually known for football. A lot of kids go there. It's historically black college, obviously. And I know that I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan. You know that. I think he should have any job he wants. Who doesn't want to play for a Hall of Famer that understands just student development and development as young men? But I will say this. They made, in my opinion, his son beat them, and I'm not a fan of his son being a really good quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Shador was terrible in this game, as you can see. I mean, 44.4%. Neither quarterback was very good. The difference is that Shador turned it over 3 times, and Corey Fields threw 4 touchdowns on his 12 completions.
Otherwise, I think it would be an even game. He found the end zone and only turned it over once.
Yeah. And I mean, even running back Dante Anthony turned it over as well. But again, the turnovers were 3-2. So yeah, as all of them are on the board here. But yeah, I think it was just, the turnover, short fields for South Carolina State, and Bulldogs get the win. So it was weird, though. When I was watching this game, it looked like I was watching South Carolina versus Auburn, because South Carolina State's uniforms look similar to South Carolina's, and Jackson State's uniforms in this game looked similar to Auburn, I thought. So it was weird. And they were playing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, too, in Atlanta. So it was even more so made a little bit of sense. Shaquan Davis, though, massive day, 5 for 95 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns there. And the picks, Aaron Smith for South Carolina State, Kendall Moultrie for South Carolina State, and then Shiloh Sanders for Jackson State with a pick as well. And South Carolina State plus 10.5. Under 42.5. By 1.5. All right, the other FCS semifinal game, number 7 Montana State, 31-17 over number 11 South Dakota State. This one again, I was in on a JMU South Dakota State, and especially once JMU lost on Friday, I was like, well, I'm hoping South Dakota State can get in. I know Chris wanted the All Dakota Bowl in the national championship. South Dakota State was the runner-up last year in the spring to Sam Houston. But Montana State's got it rolling. Tommy Mellott, no one expected him to run that many times.
He ran everywhere. He was still running out of the stadium when the game was over, I think.
Because that's not what he has done. I mean, he's been throwing the ball, and they had been carried by their all-conference. I don't know if he's all-American or whatever, but Isaiah Fonts has been outstanding for them at running back. He wasn't playing in this game, so it came onto the shoulders of Tommy Mellott to throw the ball and run the ball, and he did that all over the field to the tune
13 times. Wow.
388 total yards and 4 total touchdowns. And South Dakota State had this game. I mean, they were tied at 17. They came back, and then it was just 2 touchdowns late for Montana State, and Chris Oladokin couldn't do enough. 315 and a touchdown and a pick. Pierre Strong had a good game, though, 14 for 94 and a touchdown. But I don't know. I don't know what South Carolina State or South Dakota State could have done better other than defend. Yankee and Tucker Kraft almost over 100 yards each. Jackson's brother Jaden scoring a touchdown as well. And Simeon Woodard, back-to-back weeks with a pick for the Bobcats, their corner there. So we'll have number 3 North Dakota State against number 7 Montana State in Frisco, Texas for the FCS National Championship January 8th. Montana State +5 here, and then over 47.5 by 0.5 point. All right, NFL Saturday night football. We have the Colts getting a massive win over the Patriots, 27-17. Carson Wentz sat back, didn't have to do much in the game.
Give it to 2-8 there, for 2-8.
29 carries, 170 yards on a touchdown, capped off by a 67-yard game sealer in the fourth quarter by Jonathan Taylor. This one was bad early. It was 17-0. And
it was 20-0 at one point.
20-0. Yeah, 20-0 going into the fourth. You got to give props to, I mean, Mac Jones did lead them back.
Yep.
Got them to within 3. And
I was expecting him to actually come back. I was actually expecting the Patriots to tie it up or something, but fell a little short. I mean, you give the Jonathan Taylor with just over 2 minutes left, let him run the ball, ran it, what was like 60-yard touchdown or something.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly how much it was, but wow. made a difference
So, the one thing I wanted to talk about, the only thing I want to talk about in this game is, for me, when you say most valuable player, to me, that's if you take this guy away from the team, are they still going to be any good? And I'm telling you right now, the Colts would not be any good without Jonathan Taylor. Now, the Bucks may not be the number one seed, but you have enough talent to win ball games. Bruce Arians is a good enough coach to figure it out. That defensive, front and their defensive backs in Tampa Bay, I think they're still a wild card. But the Colts will be awful without Jonathan Taylor.
Dude,
yeah.
I've been lobbying for Jonathan Taylor MVP the last 3 weeks, and I have him, as we know. About 3 weeks ago is when I placed that bet at plus 1,800 for Jonathan Taylor. I saw he's now plus 1,000. I think he's tied for third with Matthew Stafford. Aaron Rodgers has taken over as the favorite. Tom Brady slipped down to second. Or actually, I think Jonathan Taylor's tied for fourth with Matt, because I think Josh Allen's still in third place. But it's unreal the amount of disrespect that Jonathan Taylor is getting. When you look at, he is now this was his 12th straight game with a touchdown, and he is now, I don't remember if he's tied or if he's one game away from tying LaDainian Tomlinson, and I forget who. There was one other guy that was at 13, I think. I can't remember who it was.
It's a celebrity contest, and people are enamored with the age of Tom Brady. I still think he wins it. And what will happen? Jonathan Taylor will get the award for Offensive Player of the Year, which to me is still baffling, because if you're the Offensive Player of the Year, shouldn't you be? It's the same year, in my opinion. I think Todd Gurley should have won an MVP award, and instead he got Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When you're looking at it, Jonathan Taylor is rivaling the last two running backs' stats to win the MVP. Last one, Adrian Peterson, 2008. I don't think Jonathan Taylor's going to get close. He's going to get close. I don't think he'll get there to AP, where AP was over 2,000 yards. I don't remember how many touchdowns he had. But Jonathan Taylor is more than likely going to have 20-plus rushing touchdowns. And I think he'll get close to 2,000 yards, if not a little bit over 2,000, because he's at 1,700 now, I think, with 3 games left. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know he's definitely closing in on LT's MVP season stats of 06. Or whatever year that was. I don't remember if it was 06 or Mark would know. He's older. But anyways, yeah, great win for the Colts. I was happy. I lone wolfed them. I had all the confidence in the world in Jonathan Taylor to get it done, even against the good Patriots defense. Hunter Henry pissed me off on my fantasy bench, scoring twice. I was like, bro, really? What else have you done this season? Nothing. He has little spurts every 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. It's so annoying. But anyways, defensively, Darius Leonard, 10 tackles, 8 solos, a tackle for loss, pass flex, and QB hit, and a pick. Him and DeForest Buckner are absolutely ridiculous. And then EJ Speed, back-to-back games. The Colts coming off a bye this week into this game. EJ Speed has now scored back-to-back games on blocks, punt returns for touchdowns. Crazy. Special teams are fantastic for the Colts right now. Colts covered -1, under 46.5. Yesterday, Steelers, look at this. This is another lone wolf, baby. Steelers getting it done at Hines, 19-13 over the Titans. massive win. The Steelers had 168 total yards of offense. They allowed over 200 rushing yards, and they still got the win because they got 4 turnovers. Their defense was outstanding. They shut them out in the second half. They outscored the Titans 16-0 in the second half. And I'm still kind of concerned about Najee Harris and the running game. I mean, it's atrocious right now.
Yeah, but I mean, the Pittsburgh's defense is outstanding. I mean, I was watching this game and wow, I mean, they're getting to the Tannehill left and right. I mean, Joe Hayden was, you don't have him on here, but I think he was their game changer for sure.
Well, what's so funny about this with this win? Now the Browns tonight, if they win, can be in first place in the AFC North, or with the loss, they can be in last place.
Yeah, which
I love this division.
I think it's so dumb that the Browns are going to be in first place if they win, because they don't have a better division record. The Bengals have the best division record at 3-1.
Right. Yeah.
But the Browns have a better record between the 3 teams, which I don't know. I think it's stupid. Head-to-head, yes, makes sense. Which the Browns already beat the Bengals, and they have to play them in Cleveland Week 18, which is massive. You know, it's going to be fun. Week 18 with this division, Browns, Bengals, Ravens, Steelers. That's going to be ridiculous. That's crazy. But anyways, yeah, Deontay Foreman, 22 carries, 108 yards on my fantasy bench as well, which was cool. Luckily, I had a bye in our law school fantasy league. So Najee Harris being absolute crap didn't matter. Hopefully he gets that back on track next week against the Chiefs, who are really good right now. But yeah, defensively, TJ Watt, I mean, 5 tackles, 4 solos, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, 3 QB hits. He's not even in the top 5 in terms of MVP odds right now. But he just broke James Harrison's single season sack record for the Steelers. Now he has 17.5 sacks, 3 games left. He's chasing Michael Strahan. He needs 5 sacks in order to break Michael Strahan's record.
It's possible.
So 5 sacks in 3 games. It's gonna be tough. Chiefs next week, like I said. So, dude, stop throwing it to Foster Moreau, Derek. What, bro? I'm playing against him. I didn't expect Foster Moreau to have 2 receptions for 24 yards already. But yeah, I was disappointed by Ben Roethlisberger in the passing game. They couldn't protect him at all again. And also, Steelers, really, you're going to freaking QB sneak Ben Roethlisberger twice on the goal line and not give Najee Harris the ball? I was like, bro, come on.
They call him Big Ben for nothing.
Big Ben scored his first rushing touchdown in 3 years. He hasn't ran for a touchdown since 2018. Dude, I should get fantasy points for that. Hunter Renfrow just recovered Brian Edwards' fumble. Let's see. Steelers covered though, -1.5, under 42.5. And see, Chris was asking why the Steelers were a favorite, on Friday. I was like, bro, because they're good. Because they win at home. That's how you do it.
Yeah, their definition of mediocre. Yeah.
All I care about is that
7-6-1 record.
Yeah, as long as they win the AFC North, that's cool.
They definitely have a chance.
They're half game back. It's all good. Bills rolling over the Panthers 31-14. Josh Allen, not the greatest day, but he threw 3 touchdowns. The Panthers didn't have a kicker, which made this game a hell of a lot harder. Already going to Buffalo for to start, and then Zane Gonzalez goes down in pregame. They had these kicker tryouts with Brandon Zylstra,
I saw that.
PJ Walker, and I forget, there was one other guy too. I think DJ Moore maybe tried. I don't remember. But yeah,
This is some bad
made it
football.
tough. And I mean, the Cam just sucks. It's like,
I love Cam's personality and I love what he's done for the community there, but there's just a point in time where you go, he just doesn't have it anymore.
and I mean, Matt Rule opened it up now, saying that Sam Darnold has a chance to regain the starting position.
That's crazy.
So
I mean, they don't have
Ryan.
they don't have world-beating wide receivers, and we all know Christian would make it look different, but there's a reason why we moved on from Cam and then tried another quarterback, and now it's wide open tryouts and trades and lottery and draft picks for quarterbacks.
yeah, I think you got to go in for Deshaun in the offseason. I think that's the best option. He's the youngest option available on the trade market, high-profile trade market anyways. Granted, you got to see how his stuff works out. Hopefully that stuff will be worked out by the time free agency comes around. So you'll know if you have to go after a quarterback in free agency or if you're going to wait till the draft, or if you can trade for him. I think you can still trade for him anyways with many conditions for the trade. Like why not trade 3 second-round picks and tell the Texans, well, if he actually ends up playing for us, the first round pick, you get that. If he's on the active roster, week 1, 2022. The second first round pick, you'll get if he starts the first 4 games. And the third first round pick, you'll get if he plays 50% of the snaps in the season. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, especially because there's not a true number 1 quarterback in this class yet. That's one thing that's good that the Panthers, even though they keep losing and moving up the draft board, I think they might trade back if they do go the draft route, or just draft whoever best available and get your quarterback next year. I don't know though. Tyler Huntley could be available though. We'll talk about him in a little bit. We'll see. Gabriel Davis though, another guy on my bench, 5 for 85 and 2 touchdowns. He scored 3 touchdowns the last 2 games. And defensively, Yeturgos Matos for the Panthers. 5 tackles, 2 solos, 2.5 sacks, tackle for loss, 3 QB hits. Really, really good game for the second-year guy there. Out of Penn State. Had to put that in there. The Bills covered, though, -13, over 44 by 1. Shocker of the weekend. Got 30-12. Lions win over the Cardinals. They lose out on Aiden Hutchinson for the moment at number 1. If that's who they were. I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau is still there at number 2. But, yeah. I mean, Jared Goff was lights out. Efficient, 80%, 216, 3 touchdowns. And Craig Reynolds has been a miracle off the practice squad. 26 for 112.
Huge. That's Jared having some numbers, not turning it over. I don't know if it's because it's a former conference foe or what, but I just kept shaking my head like this is happening. And you know who I already think of him as a trash quarterback. I was just watching it unfold going, wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous how poorly Kyler Murray was playing. The running game, I mean, Chase Edmonds, you see that 8.8 yards per carry, but again, he only got 6 carries, didn't get any catches. James Conner didn't get that many carries either because they had to throw the ball early and often. They were down really quickly, which actually helped me. One guy I did start was Christian Kirk, 9 for 94 and a touchdown. Nice solid day for him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, however, was another one on my bench. 8 for 90 and a touchdown. I need to start him next week, though.
I will say this.
They're playing the Falcons. So.
Two things about the Cardinals. Zach Ertz just looks like a different human being coming out to the desert from Philly. And a person that you're not going to see on here for obvious reasons, but I think is just a special player and helps even everybody on that team is DeAndre Hopkins. He really is is there a better word than reliable, studly? Your defense has to know, and he's got to be a focal point of what you do defensively.
Yeah. Sucks for Hop that he's out for the year, or at least the regular season, as Chris mentioned on Friday. I heard he was done for the entire season, unless they make it to like the conference championship or the Super Bowl. Then he could possibly come back, but I'll take all the fantasy points for Christian Kirk. Thank you very much. The old saying, one man's trash. Shout out to Jason Cabinda, though, fullback for the Lions, scoring a receiving touchdown. Another Penn Stater there, former linebacker. And defensively, Charles Harris, what a game. 12 tackles, 7 solos, 1.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. Lions plus 13, under 47. Dolphins in a dogfight over the Jets, 31-24. Doesn't matter, though. The only thing that matters is the final score, and the Dolphins are now 6 straight wins, and they are right in the thick of the playoffs.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm with you there. You win by an inch or you win by a mile. I'll never be on the Tua train. He's, I think, prevents a pretty decent, pretty solid defense from on the other side of the ball growing offensively.
It's okay, though, because Duke Johnson can run the ball.
Yeah, he can.
I texted Chris while I had this game on my Sunday ticket quad box, and I was like, bro, I did not know Duke Johnson could actually run the ball. When have you ever seen Duke Johnson carry it more than 10 times in a game over his career?
No, he's just getting catches. He's usually getting catches.
Bro, yeah, he always catches the ball. He only had 1 catch in this game for 20 yards and carried it 22 times for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was just shocked. I was like, they had Myles Gaskin come off the COVID list for this game, as well as Salvin Ahmed, who I don't even think got a carry. Gaskin only carried it 3 times, I think.
Yeah, and I started him for fantasy.
Dude, you gotta be careful, man, on those guys coming off the list. Yeah, Tua almost gave the game away, though. You're right, Mark, with that pick 6. Didn't end up hurting him.
I mean, I picked the Dolphins, so I wanted them to win, but he just, I always told everybody coming out of college, the game gets faster, people get bigger and stronger. I've never really liked his arm slot, but I will give him this. He does. There's games that he makes me scratch my head, and then there's other times I'm like, well, he does enough to win ball games.
Yeah, I was happy. Devontae Parker 4 for 68 and a touchdown. Will Fuller done for the year with his finger injury. They had Jalen Waddle out on the COVID list for this game, so Parker had a good game. And a lot of defense. There was a lot of defense in this game here. So I'm going to start off Dolphins. Defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, 7 tackles, 2 solos, tackle for loss, pass deflection. And he caught a touchdown, a 1-yard receiving touchdown for the big man. And then on the Jets side, corner Brandon Eccles, 4 tackles, 2 solos, 3 pass deflections, and that 20-yard pick 6 off of Tua. Jets did cover, though, plus 9.5 and over 41. Going to the NFC East from the AFC East, Cowboys 21-6 over the Giants at MetLife Stadium. This was a weird game. It felt like the Cowboys should have just annihilated the Giants with Mike Glennon starting. And the Giants defense, got to give them credit. I mean, they came up with stop after stop in the red zone. Greg Zuerlein kicked 3 field goals, I believe. And he attempted 4, I think it was.
I'm with you there. How you only have 21 points, and I know Dak had 1 fumble, and Jerry had that comment about him being in a slump, but 28 of 37, that's good numbers. You hit 28 completions versus 9 misses. That's respectable right there. But you only had 217 yards, so some of that is maybe game planning, like, okay, getting him into a more of a rhythm and believing that, his accuracy is back. But they did enough. It goes back to they did enough. It's a conference foe. We get to see Jake Fromm's name right here in our box score, and Mr. Jones is they're going to sideline him for the season after this.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Chris would always say 28 completions, but he only had 217. So, I freaking hate Dalton Schultz. Once again, I'm just rambling off these players that were on my fantasy bench for the many leagues that I'm in. Dalton Schultz was on my bench, 8 for 67 and a touchdown. That's 20 points. And it was so weird. Like, he didn't do much in the first half. And then, like, the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half. And then the whole second half, it was just like, boom, boom, Dalton Schultz every play. I was like, really, Dak? Throw it to someone else. Amari Cooper, who I started, could have had those catches. But no, Cooper only had 2 receptions for 8 yards, which was great to see. Also, Zeke, 16 for 52 and a touchdown. Luckily, he scored a touchdown. That saved his fantasy day. Because otherwise, it was just trash. And I get mad because freaking Tony Pollard gets half the carries now. And I'm like, bro, get off the field. Tony Pollard, you have a freaking plantar fascia tear. Get off the field. But he's outgained Zeke almost every game, it feels like. And Zeke hasn't had over 60 yards in 6 games. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about Zeke in fantasy. Anyways, the quarterback situation for the Giants, interesting. You know what, Mark? Jake Fromm could start this week.
Yeah.
Joe Judge left that option open. So I thought Jake Fromm looks pretty decent. He only completed 50%, but 82 yards off 6 completions is really good. And like I said, I didn't think he made any terrible throws. So Mike Glennon, though, is trash. Mike Glennon is absolute just dumpster fire. 3 picks.
Gosh.
He needs to retire.
Yeah, he's been around, and it's about time to get off that carousel.
Defensively, though, I'm going to go with Lorenzo Carter for the Giants. Georgia boy. 4 tackles, 3 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackle swaps, pass selection, 3 QB hits on deck.
I do want to say, as we transition, this game behind us is garbage. This is sloppy football.
Yeah, we got 2 Georgia boys on there. So you take Crowder there too. Cowboys minus 11.5 covered and under 44.5. Cowboys aren't going to win the NFCs.
The Cowboys on it? I don't know about that.
No, they will when the Eagles beat Washington on tomorrow night. Texans, woo woo! My dog of the week, 30-16 over the Jags. Knew that was coming. New head coach, same problems for the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, not that great. He didn't turn the ball over, luckily for him. But the Texans' defense was good. Davis Mills, efficient enough, 63%, 209, 2 touchdowns. Did have 1 pick. I was mad. I was playing James Robinson, and it felt like every single league this weekend. And, I mean, the man went off, 75 yards and a touchdown, 3 catches for 13 yards. I don't know why I did it, but in one of my daily fantasy games, I started Royce Freeman because I heard he was supposed to be getting a lot of touches this week. And then it turns out Rex Burkhead runs the ball 16 times. And David Johnson was the next highest, had the next highest touches in terms of running backs for the Texans. So note to self, don't play any Texans running backs anytime. Brandon Cooks, though, continues to be the lone bright spot on the Texans offense.
The old reliable.
7 for 102 and 2 touchdowns. He had a big, long touchdown to seal the game in the 4th quarter there.
Do you think he gets traded over the offseason?
I mean,
I've heard things.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, though, if you're going to get if they end up trading Deshaun Watson, you're going to get all those picks. Why would you not want Brandon Cooks to lead your offense?
True.
Unless you're going to do a complete reset, but I don't find that to be productive.
I found it ironic that James Robinson becomes a pretty big focal point of the Jaguars' game plan the minute that Urban Meyer's is not on the sideline.
Yeah. Pretty big difference from 6 carries for 4 yards last week, which was nice. That would have been a nice stat line this week when I'm playing against him. Weirdly enough, James O'Shaughnessy was the leading receiver for the Jags, the tight end, 4 for 60 yards. I also started Marvin Jones in a daily fantasy, and it was just like he had been good most of the season for Trevor Lawrence, but nothing in this game. And let's go. Tulsa just covered. Tulsa beat Old Dominion 30-17 in the Myrtle Beach Bowl, presented by Tax Act. So go Golden Hurricanes. Now I can finally switch over and watch the Browns game, which is still 7-0 in the 2nd quarter. I don't know what these teams are doing right now.
I told you it's been sloppy. There's been drop balls left and right, penalties, non-called penalties.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. Hunter Renfrow is not getting enough targets, Mark.
You sound like Pittsburgh dad.
And I don't know why the stupid NFL fantasy app is not letting me watch it. I swear to God, if I can't watch this game, I'm gonna be mad. But anyways, defensively, a lot of stats here. I am gonna go Jacksonville though. Malcolm Brown, 4 tackles, 2 solos. Why can I not watch this game? Like I have NFL Network. I don't know what the issue is. One sack for loss, pass deflection, and a QB hit. Also, Houston's corner Tremon Smith, 2 tackles, 2 solos, 98-yard kick return touchdown. Really good play for him there. Texans plus 4.5 over 39.5. Bengals 15-10 over the Broncos.
My dog of the week.
Danny didn't even say bye, man. He just said, I'm out. But yeah, this game was gross. It was so terrible to watch. I mean, luckily, Teddy Bridgewater's out of the hospital after taking a hit, getting in concussion protocol. But yeah, like I said, this game was so dumb. It was just terrible. There wasn't much offense, and
there wasn't any excitement. The Bengals did just enough.
Dude, I'm really annoyed. I don't know why I can't watch this game right now. This is like, bro, what the heck? So confused. Javonte Williams, though, I was happy. 15 carries, 72 yards, 4 receptions, 9 yards. Dude, I thought Drew Lock was going to do it. I mean, first off, he brought him back, gave him the lead at 10-9, because the Broncos defense was doing an outstanding job to that point. And then Joe Burrow drove him down the next drive, scores a touchdown, goes for 2, doesn't get it. And then Drew Lock's driving again. I mean, he drove him all the way down inside the 10-yard line. And then the just weirdest play. I mean, he's running to his left, and like the defensive lineman just grabbed the ball out of his hand. Like, he didn't punch it. He didn't rip. He just kind of like, bro, I got this. This is mine. And like started running, and then he got tripped. And then I was mad because freaking, of course, Drew Lock's hand touched him as they were struggling for the ball, which counted as being down by contact because the defender rolled onto the ground after that. But during the play, they didn't call him down, and the freaking Broncos stripped it out. Garrett Bowles was running down the field, stripped it out, and the Broncos recovered. And I was like, bro, we got a chance. We're still in it. We got another chance. But no, of course, Drew Lock's hand touched the guy before he went down. And yeah. But anyways, I was happy Tyler Boyd had a nice day, 5 for 96 and a touchdown, because Jamar Chase was getting shut down by Pat Surtain. So I have Tyler Boyd in my best ball league. So that was good. 20 points for him.
That's the only person I was even going to really mention. I mean, Mixon helped him in a game like this, not eye-popping numbers, but Boyd was really the difference maker.
Dude, I'm so annoyed. I don't understand. I've watched all these NFL Network games before. Like, my DirecTV subscription counts. It has NFL Network included. That's stupid. But anyways, defensively, Justin Simmons, I guess.
Yep.
For the Broncos, 4 tackles, 3 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, 2 QB hits. The Bengals defensive line was wrecking the Broncos all day, though. Ogunjobi and Hendrickson. Garrett Bowles couldn't block anyone. Bengals plus 3, under 44. All right, not bad. Hunter Renfrow, 3 for 32. The Browns got to start running the ball. Only 6 carries for 14 yards for Nick Chubb right now. What is that?
Maybe.
I need him to score a touchdown. I need Nick Chubb to score. The Niners beating up on the 31-13. I was happy Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't that big of a factor. I was playing against him. Luckily, I had George Kittle playing against Jimmy Garoppolo, so it kind of even out there. Kittle had another nice game, 6 for 93. Jeff Wilson Jr., man, taking care of the Falcons defense, 21 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Added in 2 receptions for 9 yards. So I got to pick it up.
Quietly, the Niners, I don't know if they got off to a so-so start, and they're kind of coming into shape, if that makes sense. They have an identity, and I think I was listening to something on my road trip on Jalen Jacoby podcast, Jalen Rose and David Jacoby. They're talking about how Jimmy Garoppolo has actually came out and solidified, like, hey, you might have drafted somebody, but you're not going to just give him my job.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing. Like, we haven't seen Trey Lance on the field in quite a while. They haven't used his packages that they have for him since he came off of IR like a month ago. So, yeah, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is doing one of two things. He's either going to stick in San Francisco next year, and they're just, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do a quarterback competition when you draft the kid number 3 overall. Or Jimmy Garoppolo is going to fetch a first-round pick from some team.
Hey,
I wouldn't pay a first.
Panthers need a quarterback.
I wouldn't pay a first-round pick.
Steelers need a quarterback.
I'd pay at most what the Niners paid for Jimmy Garoppolo, which was a 2. He doesn't.
I mean, I think he's better than Jared Goff, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't affect the game enough to warrant a first-round pick. Like,
I wouldn't give up a first-round pick.
He's good if you have a line and you have a running game. If you have a running game, Jimmy Garoppolo can win you a Super Bowl potentially.
And I hate to say this, and I don't get paid. I'm not Mel Kiper and Todd McShay, but just because these guys are saying, it's not as deep as last year. Well, look at last year's quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence looks like garbage. Justin Fields looks like garbage. I'm still high on Kenny Pickett. I'm not saying I would take him first overall, third, fourth, or fifth, but if I'm the 10 to 12 range and I need a quarterback, like people thought Patrick Mahomes was a stretch.
You already know where Kenny's going, dude. You already know where Pickett's going, right?
19,
staying
18.
home. He's staying home, dude.
I hope that happens for you. You don't beat Dan Marino's record for nothing.
He is going to stay home in Pittsburgh. Russell Gage, though, 8 for 91 and a touchdown in this game. Another guy on my bench. That was cool. Deebo Samuel scored another stupid rushing touchdown. Like, really, dude? And then defensively, I don't know. I guess Samson Ebukam, Arden Key and him have the same stats, except Ebukam's got more tackles. So 3 tackles, 3 solos, a sack, tuck floss, 2 QB hits. Niners covered -9, under 48. What a game. The only 3:25 kickoff Central Time. Anyways. Packers 31-30 over the Ravens. Aaron Rodgers tying Brett Favre for the most passing touchdowns in Packers history. 268 and 3 touchdowns, 74%. But Tyler Huntley, dude, he's going to get paid. He's not a free agent after this year, I don't believe. So he's going to have to get traded. 215, though, 70%, 2 touchdowns, ran for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is twice that he's been this close to bringing the Ravens back. He almost did it against the Browns, and he almost did it against the Packers. And he won his first start this year against the Bears. So I just think this kid keeps getting better and better. I mean, undrafted, started as the 4th-string quarterback, and now has risen to the backup role behind Lamar. And it's funny too, because people are saying like he's not the same as Lamar because he's not as good of a runner. But when you see this game, and I mean, he was running very nicely in this game. And he's a better passer. He is a better passer than Lamar Jackson.
That was going to be my comment, is he showed me that he could run, but when he was in that pocket and just feeling the presence and his release, I said, oh, he can throw a little bit better. I was also surprised that this was the first game Lamar missed for having a football injury.
Mm-hmm.
For as much as we do know he runs. And the Ravens are, I know a lot of people will say this and that about John Harbaugh. They're well coached. He's been there for years. He reminds me of a Cowher. He's got that relationship with the entire organization, and they play good football. There's mishaps here and there, but I think some people thought, Green Bay would run over them. But when I'm talking about people in Green Bay's division, after this game, I still trust them more than anyone, I think. Their defense gave up 30. It looked a little bit shaky compared to the last few weeks, but Aaron Rodgers, just look at Devontae Adams is on there. Valdez-Scantling's on there. You have 2 running backs that touch the ball. I believe in this Packers team.
Yeah, I was mad A.J. Dillon scored a touchdown, not Aaron Jones. I had Aaron Jones in my best ball league, and I was playing against A.J. Dillon in another dynasty league. But Mark Andrews, dude, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Mark Andrews, it's weird, dude. It's been like tight end freaking palooza here in the last 3 weeks. I mean, Andrews, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, they have all 3 been just going off. 10 receptions, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, scored about 36.5 fantasy points in this game. And yeah. And the funny thing is that both of the 2-point conversions that they've missed in 2 of their last 3 weeks to lose the games have been to Andrews. Which I don't know if I felt bad for Tyler Huntley, but I don't know how, when you look at that 2-point play, I don't know how he didn't see Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown was wide open in the back of the end zone, and he still threw it to Andrews anyways. I was like, bro, you throw it to Brown, that's game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I think, goes down and wins the game anyways, but still, I was just shocked when I saw the replay. I was like, holy crap, dude. Marquise Brown was wide open. I was happy, though. Garbage time when the Ravens were trying to come back. It wasn't a lot of yards, but Marquise Brown was getting all these catches, and I love PPR, so 10 receptions, 43 yards. That is 14.3 fantasy points. And he was just getting like 4 yards. I'm like, let's go. Throw it to number 5. All right. That's a good job. 10-0. Go into half. I don't think Nick Mullins is going to be able to do anything with 56 seconds and 1 timeout.
Maybe reception.
But that doesn't help me. That doesn't help Hunter Renfrow get points or get yards. Defensively, though, Devondre Campbell again, dude. I mean, the man has been an outstanding free agency pick from the market by GM Brian Gutekunst. 10 tackles, 5 solos, a sack, tuck floss, and a QB hit. Outstanding free agent selection or signing by the Packers GM. Ravens cover +9 over 45. I was mad, though. I had 9 Packers -5.5. I was like, bro, they're covering the whole game. Whole game, they're covering. They're covering until like 45 seconds ago. All right. Sunday Night Football. What a shocker. Saints 9-0 in Tampa over the Bucks. Brady now 0-4 in the regular season as a Bucks quarterback against Saints. This was the first time not against Drew Brees or Sean Payton. Defensive coordinator Dennis Allen was the acting head coach for this game. Put on a masterful performance.
We all know that was in unison with Sean Payton, though, and the Saints just have his number.
In the regular season.
Regular season. I loved seeing him on the sideline and just throwing his iPad. I mean, as a competitor, I would do the same thing. I'm not being derogatory towards Tom Brady, but he was clearly frustrated, and for the first time in 15 years, they were shut out. He was shut out.
Yeah, not since 2006 had Brady been shut out. Which, you know what? I saw a crazy stat on that. No active defensive player in the league
Is still playing.
No current active defensive player was playing in when Tom Brady was last shut out.
That is crazy.
I mean, 15 years on defense, that's kind of hard to do, but
what's Richard Sherman, 12, 13 year?
Yes. I mean, I know they were saying Malcolm Jenkins was in his 13th.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
But yeah, it was weird. Like, look at the target disparity for Gronk. I mean, only caught 2 of 11. I know he straight dropped 2. And then the one that was a great ball by Brady. Like, I don't know how Gronk didn't catch it because it fell right at him, but he wasn't looking for the ball. And like right as he looked, like the ball was right there, and I don't know how he didn't catch it. But
I will say this: if any teams are taking notes, if you can stop Tampa Bay's run game, it forces Brady into. I'm not going to say bad. It's not bad decisions. He's got to make quick throws, quick reads, and he's capable of. But it's shorter fields. It's his accuracy goes down a little bit. But once they've been able to, run the ball this year, they pick you apart.
Yeah, and Saints also stopped the Bucks from winning the NFC South. It was a win and in situation. Forgot to mention the Packers were the first team to clinch a playoff spot. They won the NFC North with their win over the Ravens. Cardinals could have, had they won against the Lions, they could have clinched the playoff spot anyways. But now, before we get into NCAA news, defensively, I don't know. There's so many stats in this game. Cameron Jordan, though, 5 tackles, all of them solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, 3 QB hits. The defensive line, him, Davenport, Onyemata for the Saints was outstanding. And you feel bad for Todd Bowles and the Bucks defense because you're like, bro, he held him to 9 points. Like, what more do you want? And we're the number 1 scoring offense, scoring 31 points per game, number 1 in yards and points. Like, I don't know what more you want from Todd Bowles' defense. So, great game for Brett Maher, the Saints kicker, 3 of 3 on field goals, 42 long. And I think it also hurt when Ryan Suckup for the Bucks missed his early field goal that would have tied it at 3. And then you look at it, and I thought about this during the fourth quarter when the Bucks got it back one more time, and I was like, damn, like if Brady could have had some fourth quarter magic like he's had in his career, they could have won the game had he been able to drive him down and score a touchdown if they would have had that 3 points on the board from earlier on. But Did not happen. Saints plus 11.5, under 45.5. And like I said, before we get to NCAA news, now when you look at it, the NFC West, and you look at the AFC East and the AFC South, dude, look how close these division races have come. I think the only ones that are out of it, obviously, I said the Packers won the NFC North. The Bucs, they're not going to lose the NFC South with a 3-game lead over the Saints. The Cowboys are probably going to win the NFC East if the Eagles beat the Washington football team tomorrow. And then, but I think all the other divisions are open. The whole AFC is open right now. The AFC North, like I said, the Steelers are currently in last place, but they're a half a game back of the Bengals and the Ravens. The AFC East will be up for grabs next week when the Bills travel to New England to play the Patriots. They're a game back. The AFC South, the Colts are now 1 game back of the Titans. And the AFC West is always crazy, but the Chiefs now have a 2-game lead on the Chargers. So that's not as crazy anymore with only 3 games left. And then the NFC, NFC West, like I said, is really the only one in the NFC that's competitive. The Cardinals now only a game and a half. The Rams win against the Seahawks tomorrow night. Man, your Rams could be a game out of the Cardinals with a head-to-head split. It's coming down to it, man.
Yeah. Too bad you won't be here Sunday.
I'll be there in enough time. All right, NCAA news here. Transfer portal. That's all we're talking about. Quarterbacks, specifically, transfer portal. So, Texas quarterback Casey Thompson, he is in the transfer portal. I haven't heard anything about where he's going yet. And oh my God, Nick Mullins is actually driving the freaking ball down the field.
Yeah, I know. I just looked up and I was like, whoa.
They're going to get a freaking field goal. Are you kidding me? God dang it. But we do have destinations for 4 quarterbacks.
Max Johnson.
LSU quarterback Max Johnson. He is headed to play for Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M.
Guess who's joining him? His big, tall brother. That's a wide receiver.
Yeah. It's weird. It's going to be interesting, though. A lot of these are going to be interesting. What happens with Zach Calzada now, though?
Yeah, I know.
Who was outstanding, who beat freaking Alabama this year.
Well, he was in the portal and then got out of the portal.
Okay. UCF quarterback Dylan Gabriel, he is transferring to UCLA. And that one, I'm like, well, what about DTR? Dorian Thompson-Robinson? I don't believe that he's going to the draft. I would not expect him to be highly drafted if he was. So that's an interesting situation that Chip Kelly's got to figure out there. I mean, Gabriel's also coming off an injury. So Indiana quarterback Michael Penix Jr., he is going to Washington.
Wow.
That's more of a clearer picture. I don't really have too clear of who the starter was going to be. They started that freshman in the Apple Cup, and he struggled. So I think Penix will be fine as a starter for Washington there. And then I think the biggest one, the craziest thing, Auburn quarterback Bo Nix headed to Eugene to play for Dan Lanning. That should be fun, man. I mean, Bo Nix threw the game-winning touchdown to beat Oregon 2 years ago, 2019. So we'll see. I mean, look at, he had success with Justin Herbert there. Granted, he was a 3-year starter, but I don't think, hey, Browns missed a field goal. That's what we'd like to see. Great job, Chase McLaughlin.
That's where the icing of the kicker worked.
Oh, did Sriracha I call him Sriracha because I don't remember his actual.
Yeah, he called the timeout. He hit it when he called the timeout, which I don't know. I hate that one because in my opinion, you really don't have the ball because it's under center for the opposite team, and no other sport can call a timeout when they don't have the ball. But I get the psychological point of it.
I was having a conversation about the timeout thing, college versus NFL. I don't know which one I like better, where you can call consecutive timeouts in college and you can't in the NFL. I don't know. I would say I like the NFL one better. You shouldn't be able to call consecutive timeouts. All right, NFL news. We're getting some leaks with the Pro Bowl roster. They're not supposed to be, the whole Pro Bowl roster isn't supposed to be out until Wednesday, but we've heard some stuff. So what I have heard of so far is that 5 players named. Bucks quarterback Tom Brady, his record-setting 15th Pro Bowl. Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald.
Of course.
Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp. And Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. And then also, they said about 5 Browns and 3 Raiders. The 3 Raiders thing, that kind of surprised me, especially because one guy that's not on the list. But for the Browns guards, Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller, running back Nick Chubb, defensive end Myles Garrett, corner Denzel Ward, and the Raiders punter AJ Cole, defensive end Max Crosby, linebacker Denzel Perriman. No Hunter Renfrow. Granted, I don't know if those are like complete in terms of how many players they are sending to the Pro Bowl or whatnot. So let's see there. All right, let's get into COVID. I just got this tweet up from Ian Rappaport about the transactions this today or whatever. But I'll start with the ones that I have on the script so far. Bears placing corner Jalen Johnson and safety Tashawn Gibson on the COVID list. Their whole secondary is out tonight.
Yeah.
On the COVID list. So please, Justin Jefferson, don't score too many points. I'm not playing against him, I don't think necessarily, but I think one of the other people in my best ball league has him. And, I'm trying to win. I got Cooper Kupp still left for this week. So I'm in second place by like 2 points, and I'm trying to advance to the 3rd round. So I need Coop to have a big night tomorrow. Eagles placing offensive line Landon Dickerson and offensive tackle Andre Dillard on the COVID list. And see, this goes back to my rant that I had on Friday. Like, would Landon Dickerson and Andre Dillard be on the COVID list? No, they wouldn't. They might have still been, but they would have already played because the game should have been yesterday. But it's penalizing teams that don't have outbreaks, like the Eagles and the Raiders. I want to say the Seahawks too, but they're having a little bit of an outbreak too. So they're kind of in the same boat that the Rams are anyways. But it's penalizing teams for not having outbreaks, and it's stupid. Speaking of Seahawks, they placed corner DJ Reed, right tackle Brandon Shell, and running back Travis Homer, defensive end Kerry Hyder Jr. on the COVID list. Raiders, before the game, placed corner Nate Hobbs on the list. Chargers had a big day today, placing center Corey Lindsley, linebacker Joey Bosa, wide receiver Andre Roberts on the list. Bosa's already been ruled out for next week. Running back Austin Eckler was also mentioned to be added on the list, but Ian Rappaport said that he wasn't on the list yet. So I don't know. Let's see on the official transactions. No, he's not on the official transaction sheet. So I don't know what the status of Austin Eckler is yet. But I heard he was something to deal with COVID. Washington, they placed guard Brandon Sheriff on the list. He is out for tomorrow. Lions placed quarterback Jared Goff on the COVID list. Chiefs did the same with tight end Travis Kelce. And now on the official transactions, the Ravens placing linebacker Justin Houston on the list, as well as defensive back Jimmy Smith and wide receiver Sammy Watkins. Bills placing defensive end AJ Epinesa and guard John Feliciano on the list. Browns before the game tonight placed defensive end Jadeveon Clowney on it. Other Lions going on the list or no. Yeah. Quintez Cephas, wide receiver. For the Texans, defensive tackle Malik Collins, defensive end Jonathan Greenard, defensive end Derek Rivers. For the Chiefs, I already mentioned Travis Kelce, but also defensive back Charvarius Ward and kicker Harrison Butker. For the Raider, I already mentioned Nate Hobbs. For the Dolphins, defensive back Justin Coleman. The Patriots, wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. Let's see. I think that's it. The Titans, defensive back Elijah Molden. I think that's it for placing on the COVID list. I say that's it, but that was a lot. And it's weird too, because the NFL kind of lessened its COVID protocols the other day, which I'm a fan of. But it kind of decreases the amount of time, I guess, that vaccinated players have to stay on the list. And it also decreases the amount of testing that vaccinated players have to do. So it's interesting that when you look at some of the other leagues, like the NHL, they're kind of very COVID crazy, and they shut down cross-border games between Canada and the United States until after the holidays. And then they're still waiting on their announcement for whether NHL players will be playing at the Beijing Olympics. But yeah, I mean, they're having an outbreak as well. I haven't heard any much about the NBA. I know the NBA is having a little bit of a thing too. With some teams.
You're seeing in all these teams what people put on protocols and calling people up, whether it's from the minors, practice squad, like the G League in basketball. But I did read something that the NFL players that were polled and asked, 93% of them said, all of us are asymptomatic and we just want to play and stop getting tested. Yeah. And I'm not here to talk about feelings or political or this or that. But if that's 9 out of every 10 players, then as an ownership in NFLPA, I would listen to them.
Well, they did. Like I said, the testing has decreased for vaccinated players. for asymptomatic, like you said, players that test positive, it's easier to get back on the field than it was with their prior protocols. Getting activated off the list, though. So good news for these teams. Again, this is annoying because it's Washington, and they shouldn't have been able to get these players back. But they activated defensive lineman Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen and defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis off of the COVID lists. All three will play tomorrow. The Bears, big time get backs for tonight's game. Nose tackle Eddie Goldman and defensive coordinator Sean Desai for the game. Still not going to be with offensive coordinator or their special teams coordinator. Browns, before the game tonight, they activated defensive end Takaris McKinley and safety John Johnson from the list. So that was one interesting thing. The NFL moved the Browns game in order for them to possibly get more players off. But the only person that they activated today off of the COVID list was John Johnson. Like, they didn't get Baker Mayfield back. They didn't get Case Keenum back. They didn't get Kareem Hunt back.
Yep.
They got very, very little players back in terms of quantity. So I think it's stupid. Again. Your Rams getting a lot of guys back, though, for tomorrow. Wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., running back Darrell Henderson Jr., and tight end Bryson Hopkins, and corner Jalen Ramsey, all going to be back tomorrow night for LA off of the COVID list.
Full force.
And Eagles, they activated wide receiver Quez Watkins from the list. Dolphins, they activated running back Philip Lindsay and wide receiver Jalen Waddle from the COVID list as well. And then the Lions, they're getting back running back Jamal Williams off of the COVID list. So guys placed on IR today, big news. I already kind of mentioned it, but the Giants placed quarterback Daniel Jones on IR. He's done for the year. He has his neck injury that he's been dealing with. The Lions placed linebacker Alex Anzalone on IR. Raiders placing defensive back Trayvon Mullen on IR. Giants also placing wide receiver Sterling Shepard on IR. He is done for the year. Torn Achilles there for Shepard. But Washington football team, I mentioned Montez Sweat came off the COVID list. He is also being activated off of IR for tomorrow's game after missing many games with his broken jaw. The Titans designating wide receiver A.J. Brown to return from IR. He could have a chance to play on Thursday against the Niners. Broncos quarterback Drew Lock most likely going to start this upcoming week as Teddy Bridgewater is in the concussion protocol. Browns currently playing against the Raiders. Nick Mullins, 12 of 18 for 72 yards in place of Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum. The Bucks, bad news on the MRI today for wide receiver Chris Godwin. He is done for the year, torn ACL. Big time loss. They lost a lot of stuff last night. Chris Godwin, their wide receiver Mike Evans, he has a strained hamstring. He is week to week, but they said he does have a chance to play this week on Sunday. Also with the Bucks, running back Leonard Fournette, he has a hamstring injury as well, but his is more significant, I think. They said he could miss a game or two, possibly. Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen for tonight. He is questionable with his ankle injury. I don't have to play him because I have a bye in my law school league, but I think I still could. I think I have a roster spot available for him. Maybe not. I think I don't know if I do. Or not a roster spot, a starting spot. No, I don't have a spot for him. Oh well. That's fine. Like I said, I got to buy. That's fine if he doesn't play tonight. Rest up, young man. Play next week. That's fine. When it actually matters for me in the second round of the playoffs. And then interesting situation for the Vikings. Starting corner Rashad Breeland waived this week after he got into altercation at practice with some coaches. Apparently he took off his cleats and got into it with multiple teammates who were trying to calm the situation. So there's that. Rashad Breeland not with the Vikings anymore. God, dude, Derek, are you kidding me? Like you can't get any points on the first drive, bro, of second half. Why did I put Derek Carr throw 2 touchdowns in my parlay tonight?
That's the 8th drop I've seen tonight.
Who was it? Who dropped it?
Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah.
Of course. All right, pick standings. Mark, look where you're at, bud. You took it over. Not really. I'm still tied with Chris, but you had the better mark last week. So I am still 3 games back, which is cool. It's cool because now that we got bowl season, we are picking a lot more games on Monday, and we have 4 NFL games to pick on this show. So that's fine too. We're going to start off with the game that went down, and we're starting the week off 1-0 on the Monday show because Tulsa already won. So Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by TaxAct today. Old Dominion, Tulsa. Tulsa got the win. They covered the 7.5. The over-under was 55, and it went under. It was 30-17 was the final, so 47 under 55 there. But yeah, we all win. So let's go to a different one where we're not on the same page. Tomorrow, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Kent State against Wyoming.
I went back and forth on this one, and I haven't watched either team in a while. So,
heck yeah, I'm Lone Wolf in the Golden Flashes. This one is at Albertson Stadium in Boise, Idaho, the blue turf, where Boise State plays. Look, you know me, I go to the quarterbacks. Dustin Crum is, I believe, a 4-year starter for Kent State. He is a sleeper coming up in this year's draft. He'll be drafted in the mid rounds or mid to late rounds. But I think he's a good quarterback. Little under 3,000 yards passing, 16-6 touchdown interception ratio. Now they got some pieces at Wyoming. One of my favorite running backs is Xavier Valladay and Isaiah Nair, the running back, the wide receiver. But I think just Kent State's offense is very good. Their defense is also very bad. But I think the offense will outweigh the defense, and they'll be able to outscore Wyoming. Over under is 59.5. I'm going over. Like I said, Kent State's gonna be. It's gonna have to be a shootout. If Kent State's gonna win, so unless the Golden Flash defense decides to show up for once. That one is tomorrow at 3:30 on ESPN. The other game tomorrow, probably the more high-profile game. That's why it's playing at night. Probably not why it's playing at night. That's just TV schedule. But anyways, Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. I could use a friggin' smoothie right now. That'd be great. I would love a smoothie.
UTSA.
UTSA against number 24 San Diego State. The runners-up in Conference USA and the Mountain West. Look, you know me. I've been a San Diego State hater the entire season. They've been winning these close ones. They finally got their due in the Mountain West Championship when they got railed by Utah State. I was so happy to see that. And I went against UTSA. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that runner-up. UTSA is the Conference USA champion. What am I saying? I went against UTSA in the Conference USA championship, and it burnt me. So I'm going back to the well. Frank Harris at quarterback, Sincere McCormick at running back.
Yes, sir.
They have Cephas at wide receiver, as well as Zachary Franklin. So it's just, I don't think there's enough offense for San Diego State. Now their defense is very good. Cam Thomas and co. giving up under 20 points per game. But give me the offense for UTSA. Over
Sincere. I'm going with him. I'm going with Sincere.
I know. I'm picking tomorrow. I have both the dogs, which is kind of sketchy, but we'll see. Over under is 49. Give me the over again. I think UTSA has enough offense that they can get most of that themselves. That one's tomorrow night, 7:30 on ESPN. I probably won't be able to watch it, dude. I mean, I'll be watching the Eagles game anyways, so I'll probably have this one on my phone because I'll have the. Well, I'm hoping I have the freaking Eagles game on my TV. What to see what regional coverage I fall into, but. All right, Wednesday, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Missouri against Army. I forgot to mention UTSA, San Diego State. That is at Toyota Stadium, Frisco, Texas. I don't know who plays there. But that's the same site as the other Frisco Bowl and the same site as the FCS National Championship, I believe. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. This one's at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, where TCU plays. So we're all on the Black Knights.
Okay.
The only thing is, though, Army burned us against Navy. Your Navy boys beat up on them. I will caution, though, Missouri can do some stuff on offense.
That's the only thing. I mean, their defense isn't great, but Army is just well coached in my opinion. But I always thought if it becomes a shootout, can Army keep up with them?
Yeah, Missouri gives up 34.7 points per game. Yeah, I mean, Connor Bazelak at quarterback, not the greatest, but Tyler Beatty at running back is fantastic. I mean, the man has 268 carries, 1,604 yards, and 14 touchdowns this year. He is the all-time leading rusher in Missouri history, and I believe the SEC all-time leading rusher as well. I think so. Could be wrong. I usually am, but possibly Tyler Beatty is the SEC all-time leading rusher. Over-under is 56.5, and I think that's because of Missouri and because of Missouri's defense. But 56.5, could we see an Army game get over that?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mark says yeah. 8 p.m. ESPN on Wednesday night. Or not 8. Yeah, 8 p.m. Wednesday night. Okay. Thursday, Frisco Football Classic presented by Ryan. I don't know who Ryan is, but he's repping. He's the sponsor for this game. No, I actually have never heard of the company Ryan, but cool for them.
Like Ryan Air or just Ryan?
I don't know. It just says Ryan. That's all it says on the ESPN app. But this one, like I said, also in Toyota Stadium. This was the game that was created because there was too many bowl eligible teams this year. They had a set amount of bowl games, and then there was like a multitude of teams that became bowl eligible in the last week of the regular season. And so they're like, crap, we got to create another bowl game so we can get all these 6-6 teams in. So this was the game that got created. We're all on the Red Hawks, Miami, Ohio. And I know you and Chris probably more than likely couldn't tell me why you're on the Red Hawks.
Well, it's the same reason why I probably should have went Kent State, is I've been able to see Miami, Ohio, and Kent State play this season. But
Yeah.
I tracked Wyoming a little bit, and it was in Boise, so I went that way. But Miami, I thought, and I could be wrong, so I don't know anything about North Texas, but I figured they would be able to put up some points on the board.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Miami, Ohio. I rolled with them on the MAC championship, or not the MAC championship game, but the last week of the regular season, I rolled with Miami, Ohio over Kent State, and they didn't get it done. That would have put them in because that was a win and in game. Kent State obviously went on and lost to NIU in the MAC championship. But I was all in on the Red Hawks. They lost to Kent State in overtime in that game, dropped them to 6-6. But I love Blaine Gabbert's brother, Brett Gabbert, in this game. And I think it should be a shootout. Both these quarterbacks throw it a bunch. UNT can run it too. Their leading rusher, DeAndre Torrey, has over 1,200 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns. But give me Brett Gabbert.
Raiders successfully got a first down off a fake punt. And then Ryan is a Dallas-based company that is the leader in business international taxes.
There you go. Cool. Over-under for this one is 55. And like I said, I like the over. Give me a shootout in Frisco. It's not called a football classic for nothing, right? So give me a shootout classic between the Red Hawks and the Mean Green. 3:30 on Thursday on ESPN. I will not be able to watch this game. I will be driving 12 hours to Pennsylvania.
Fumble.
Also on Thursday, Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, UCF, Florida. I was shocked.
I didn't feel comfortable with either of these teams, so I think I said I'm rolling with you on this one.
Yeah, I think you went with Chris. Or maybe it was me. I don't know. It didn't matter, obviously. I was just shocked that Chris took Florida. Granted, Chris usually tends to pick the favored teams, but I thought maybe he would see UCF at 8-4 and pick them instead. The issue with UCF is that their quarterback, Mikey Keene, has not been that great. He's a true freshman. So, Coach Napier is not coaching this game. So that's a minus.
I thought about that as well. I said, that almost made me pick UCF, actually. So I said, Napier is not coaching it, but he has been at practice and stuff.
Right, and he'll be at the game. But my thing is that this game is going to be so easy for Florida because Emory Jones is transferring. I think he said that he's transferring after the bowl game, which is weird. But if he's not and he's already gone, that would make it a lot easier for Florida because that means Anthony Richardson is starting. It's all in on Anthony Richardson. That's who we're going to play next year anyways. So I think Anthony Richardson could get it done. UCF's been sort of a little bit of a sieve on defense sometimes this year. I mean, they've been very good. The last 4 out of the last 5 games, they've let up less than 20 points. But they gave up 55 to SMU. And have given up some other big numbers this year. 31 to Boise State. They gave up 42 to Louisville, 34 to Navy, 56 to Cincinnati, and then the 55 to SMU. But they haven't, I mean, the thing is, UCF hasn't played anyone since SMU. And really, down the stretch, they haven't played anyone other than SMU. They played Temple, Tulane, UConn, and USF. 4 out of the last 5 games with SMU put in the middle of those 4. So I think the Florida team is going to be too much in terms of competition. And I think the Florida defense is really going to be the difference in this game. Over-under is 55.5, though.
Ooh.
And I'm going under. Like I said, Florida defense. Give me the Florida defense in this game. Under 55.5. They're going to pick off Mikey Keene at least twice. 7 p.m. on Thursday on ESPN. That is all the week, during the week bowl games in between our shows here. So let's go to NFL. We got a game going on right now. Raiders at the Browns. I'm lone wolfing the Raiders. Of course I am, right? You rolled with Chris, which I was very happy to see that text. I still don't understand how the Raiders are only up 10-0. I don't get it.
I think that was before. Did you go off my text on Friday?
No.
I picked them today. Man, I must have fell on my head with Mullins starting as a quarterback.
Yeah, you said Raiders Browns with Chris.
Dang. I guess I was just trying to make it interesting, maybe on the show, but yeah, I usually don't roll with Nick Mullins ever, so.
Yeah, I just said, the Browns have too much out. Nick Mullins isn't going to win you the game against Derek Carr. And the fact that he has a chance to win the game is just disheartening, to say the least. And the fact that Nick Chubb has only 8 carries for 15 yards right now is also very disheartening. So the over-under is set at 41.5, and I am going under. That's what it was pregame, and I think we're hitting the under button. I would be interested to see what it is live. I could check that.
Yeah, I think you're going to end up being beating us on this one, my man.
Well, like I said, Nick Mullins is driving right now somehow.
Wow. They fumbled in decent territory, so we'll see.
I'm just praying that Chase McLaughlin misses another field goal. Yeah, holy crap. The live over under, at least on one book, 27.5. 27.5. Like, what? I mean, this game right now is just spilling over from the Sunday night game. 9-0. That one is 10-0 now.
Yeah. Been some ugly football lately. I'm not gonna lie.
Who fumbled the ball, by the way?
Carr, he got sandwiched. He got hit pretty good.
Yeah. Mullins is efficient. Dang, Mullins is efficient right now, though.
They're doing really short, quick passes.
Dude, I just need a Chubb touchdown. Like that's all I need from the Browns. And then I need Derek Carr to throw a touchdown to Hunter Renfrow. And to get him more involved, because I need 75 freaking receiving yards from Renfrow. He only has 3 for 32 right now with 21 minutes to go. All right, Chubb's got 24 yards. All right, give him the ball. Give him the ball in the red zone. because they're still going to cover 2.5, even if the Browns score a touchdown. Give Chubb the ball. This one's going on NFL Network right now, and for some reason I can't watch it because they're stupid and not letting me watch it on my phone when I have DirecTV and NFL Network included. And one thing I haven't tried, which I highly doubt it'll work, I haven't tried to watch it on Sunday Ticket, the Sunday Ticket app, but I don't think it'll work because it's on NFL Network.
Yeah.
No, I know they said the game's tomorrow. Whichever game you don't get, you can watch on Sunday Ticket. I don't know about the game tonight or right now.
Worth a try.
Yeah, I gotta re-download it though because I have my phone set to that thing where it undownloads apps that you don't use for a while. So,
Oh yeah.
anyways, the other game tonight's kicking
Oh,
off.
you guys, we're all on the Vikings.
Of course we are. Kicking off in about an hour and 15 minutes. Vikings 6-7, 6.5 point favorites at the Bears it's not included in the Sunday Ticket package. That's cool. They gave it to Chubb on first down. He only got 2 yards. What are you doing?
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean,
The
the Bears have no secondary.
dumpster fire.
They don't have an offensive coordinator for this game. They don't have a defensive coordinator or a special teams coordinator for this game. And I'm just hoping the Vikings get up enough early and that Justin Jefferson doesn't have a lot of catches and that Dalvin Cook runs the ball a lot, even though there's another guy in that best ball league. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Guess who I'm freaking playing against?
You should have saw that catch. I don't know. They're going to review it, but that was a nasty catch.
Guess who I am playing against in a freaking fantasy league because he switched Ricky Seals-Jones out of his tight end spot today.
Let's see if he gets his feet down. He just beast moded him. He Randy Mossed him. 1, 2. Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, my God. Of course, David Njoku scores.
That is a beast catch. Right
The
over.
one guy on
know.
the Browns offense that I couldn't have score. The only guy on the Browns offense that I couldn't have score. Only
It
guy.
might not be a touchdown.
Only guy.
There's a lot of white on that foot.
Does that say? Does the ESPN app really say that Yannick Ngakoue was freaking guarding him? Hey, you're delayed, and I love it because I get the ESPN
It's
app.
not a catch. It's not a catch.
It doesn't matter because you look at the next play.
Oh, is it an interception?
No. The next play is fantastic. Chubbers in the end zone. Let's go.
For me, the Vikings have been on that cusp. I mean, everybody can say they lost to the Lions. Well, look what the Lions just did to the Cardinals. But every game has been decided by 2 points, 7 points, went into overtime. They're always playing people tough, and so hopefully, like you said, they can just get up on the Bears and not have a close one.
Yeah, the Vikings they've played one possession games their last 10 games.
Yeah.
What is that? And they don't have anyone out in terms of COVID, or anyone that is of importance anyways. We'll have to see if Adam Thielen plays. That would help in limiting Justin Jefferson's targets if Thielen is playing. But granted, I actually don't want Thielen to play because I have KJ Osborne in a league. So I'm banking on Osborne to get me a bunch of points tonight. Hopefully Kirk just decides to throw it to Osborne instead of Jefferson. Probably not going to happen. But, or hopefully, Justin Jefferson tests positive for COVID right before the game.
They might not win then.
I don't care. I'll take the L on here to take the L or to take the dub on the best ball league. If I can move into the third round of the DraftKings best ball league. Anyways, 46.5 for this game. I'm going under. I have the Vikings defense playing in this game too.
I'm hoping just that this is a better game to watch than what I've been watching behind us. This has been just pitiful.
Yeah, I should have bet the over 27.5. We're now only 11 points away from hitting that over. But granted, I went over 36.5 or over 35.5 in the Army Navy game at halftime, and that didn't happen.
No.
This one is ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus tonight. See, at least I'll be able to watch that game on my phone. Can't watch this one right now because apparently NFL Network isn't on my phone right now. I don't know. Anyways, tomorrow night, Washington football team at the Eagles. Still to be determined if I don't. Okay, Adam Thielen officially inactive for the Vikings game. Still undetermined whether Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen will be able to be activated off of the COVID list. That still leaves Washington with Josh Johnson, who they just signed, Jordan Ta'amu, Steven Montez, I believe, are the other three quarterbacks that they have. So it would be interesting to see who plays quarterback. I don't know how Chris picked this game.
I agree. I mean, I don't agree. Sorry, I take that. I sounded that wrong. What I was trying to say is I like Washington football team's defense. I know Ron Rivera's been known for his defensive schemes through the years, but you have too many people out. And Hurts not a bad quarterback. He moves the ball. I think you guys have some pieces, and Philadelphia's just right there where they need to be if they can beat Washington football team. I think they play the Cowboys one more time, right? And they can be right in the thick of determining a lot of things.
Yeah, week 17 we play the Cowboys. But this, I just think, like I said, no, probably third string quarterback, just like the Browns are having tonight. I think the Eagles defense is going to do very well.
I think they go over. I think they beat them by 6.5.
Jalen Hurts is going into this game without an injury designation, because if they would have played yesterday, he was going to be listed as questionable, but now he's going in with no injury designation because his ankle's fully ready to go, which I'm happy about. Ready. We'll have to see. I haven't heard anything about Miles Sanders updates because I know he was questionable with his ankle thing too. So let's see if Miles Sanders, I think they said him and Jordan Howard are going to be good to go though. So Eagles are getting healthy, have some backup offensive linemen on the COVID list. So we'll have to make note of those, but I think it'll be good. Washington's getting their defensive line back for this game. Montez Sweat and Allen, but I don't think it'll matter. I think Jalen Hurts can run out of it, and Eagles can get the win. And again, the Eagles had the best coming into this week. The Eagles had the best playoff odds of any 6 and 7 team in the NFC. We already saw the Falcons lost, but we saw the Saints win. And who are the other 6 and 7s? It was just the Falcons, Saints, Eagles, Washington. I thought there was a 5th one. Oh, Vikings. Vikings play tonight.
Vikings.
So we'll see. The Eagles could join the Saints and the Vikings at 7 and 7 going into the last 3 games, and then it's just a dogfight. So, and the Eagles beat the Saints, so they had that head-to-head. They don't play the Vikings this year. So that would come down to conference record would be that tiebreaker, and the Vikings have it, I believe. Oh, okay. So best win percentage in common games is what the Vikings have over the Eagles right now. So that's a tough tiebreaker to have against you. But I think it'll be good. I think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs. I'm very excited. I wish the Bucs could have helped me last night, but I don't believe in the Saints going forward. So that's fine. We'll do all right. Why does Foster Moreau have 4 receptions for 44 yards? Why, Mark? Tell me why. Throw it to 13. He wants it. Anyways, this game tomorrow, over under 42. I'm going under. Granted, it could be one of those games that the Eagles have had this year where they just ball out and score 30. So the over is very possible, I think. But I'm going under 42. 7 p.m. on Fox, regional coverage applies, as does regional coverage for this game. Seahawks at your Rams. Rams win, and they are tied for the NFC West.
There's only one thing that scares me about this game. And because I know how much of Russell Wilson is a competitor and practices and wants to win, that somehow he just has one of those games where you're like, yeah, he that reminds me of what he's capable of doing. But I don't think he has the pieces around him, and it's hard for one guy to carry a team in football when you have everybody coming back. You have Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. You have Aaron Donald up front. And then you just have Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford and
Odell and Henderson back.
Odell and Henderson back. And so I just don't lay a goose egg, Rams, please.
The only thing, I need 2 things from the LA Rams tomorrow night. 2 things. That's all I need. Just 2. 1, for Cooper Kupp to be his normal self, score about 25 fantasy points. 2, I need Van Jefferson to do absolutely nothing.
Well, and I forget about that. I should give him credit because I love watching him. I think he's a bright young star that's up and coming. And to follow on your Cooper Kupp thing, I still find it just astonishing to me that this year, in the next 4 games, he needs 293 yards to pass Isaac Bruce's all-time season single catching yards in one season for the Rams. And you think about the greatest show on turf and all this, like that's hard for me to fathom. And he is very, very capable of doing that in 4 games.
Well, Mark, he also only needs 511 yards to get to 2,000 receiving yards on the season.
I know. He's
Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. He's
been balling out, man. He has been balling out.
You know what, though? I want to see from Cooper Kupp a classic Eastern Washington. Give me Eastern Washington Cooper Kupp. Give me 13 receptions for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
If that happens, he might break that 2,000 yard season. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, what do the Seahawks have in the secondary? DJ Reed just got put on the COVID list at corner. Jamal Adams out for the season with his shoulder surgery.
Well, I think this is when you see Jefferson. I think that gives these, they're gonna find somebody to put all their attention to. So that's gonna be that second receiver that's really gonna just have a heyday out there.
That's the only thing that I hope the Seahawks do, keep it close so the Rams have to keep throwing the ball. I did say, though, that the Seahawks would make the playoffs at 9-8, or at 8-9, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, this guarantees, if they lose this game, this guarantees a losing record for Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. Definitely
Changes are coming down the line for this team.
Definitely not the standard they have set. Over under is 45.5. I'm going over. Give me the Rams to get a lot of points. Again, 7 p.m. on Fox. Regional coverage applies. I feel like a broadcaster. All right, Thursday Night Football, Niners at the Titans. The last Thursday night game of the year. Got to be a good one, right?
And we're all on that Niner train, huh?
I don't think it will be a good game. What have the Titans shown us the last month? Absolutely nothing. Their offense is terrible.
If there's ever an MVP that we were talking about, Jonathan Taylor, boy, Derrick Henry makes this team go.
Yeah, I mean, their offense is absolutely terrible. I mean, they can't block the pass rush. And they're running the ball very well. They still are running the ball very well.
Yeah, they're still running it. It's just
Foreman and Hilliard, but it's the fact when they have to throw the ball, like I said, they can't block. And their receivers are not that great without A.J. Brown. Julio went down in the Pittsburgh game with a hamstring injury.
Wow.
So it's Nick Westbrook, Akina, and Chester Rogers. So luckily, they possibly could get A.J. Brown back for this game. I don't think that's going to make a big difference. The Niners are a scary team right now. I'll say that. I think the Niners are one of the scariest teams heading into the playoffs. Yeah. And they're running the ball well with multiple guys. I mean, Elijah Mitchell's been out, but Jeff Wilson has been doing just fine at running back for them. Jimmy Garoppolo is doing enough. George Kittle's been hot. And the defense has been outstanding with Nick Bosa leading the way there. So San Fran goes to 9-6.
So we had what? One game where someone lone wolf and the rest we were with together. No, because he lone wolf the Washington football.
Yeah.
We had a lot where we picked together, and that's never a good thing when we do that.
All right. After 3 quarters, we got the Raiders up 10-7 on the Browns. That is pitiful on the Raiders. You're playing a third string quarterback, dude. Luckily, they are driving. They're at the Cleveland 21 right now. 3rd and 9, however, though. I need Derek Carr to throw a tutty to Mr. Renfro. Por favor. That would mean everything to me. All right, over under in this one is 44.5. I'm going under. Again, I'm not confident in Titans offense at all. 8:20 on NFL Network Thursday night. Next week we'll be back. Week 17 of the NFL season. We'll be breaking down all the games from the weekend and previewing the Monday night matchup between the Dolphins and Saints, 2 playoff potential teams, as well as all of the bowl games in between our shows next week. So don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. FAApodcast.com is our website. Derek Carr sucks at quarterback. And also you can check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. All right, thanks, Mark. I know Danny said thank you in a text, and we will see y'all